Welcome to Kavach 2023, organized by the joint collaboration of Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, AICTE, and Innovation Cell. A hackathon empowering youth and society by using the technology. In this presentation, as a team lead of Hack for Society, I am gonna representing our solution of problem statement Kavach 11, that is Citizen Safety App for Protection Against the Cyber Crimes. So let's get into the topic. So our idea and approach must be discussed first before going into the solution. Our application is basically made out of Flutter, which is a UI application framework for mobile applications. In this solution, keeping the problem statement in mind, we have introduced 4 different types of solution that can help common people to get rid out of the scams and frauds. And these are the following points of our solution. Number 1 solution is the detect spam phone numbers. We often face different types of phone numbers calls us, which we don't care about much, right? But few among them are fraud and scams. To detect the spam calls, we have used regular expression package to detect the specific part of the phone number and validate accordingly to its nature. Suppose a number starting with 141 and another number is starting with +91532, etc. We can obviously tell that both numbers are not valid and legit as they are not starting with 7869, etc. So by using these number characteristics, we can obviously tell that which number is spam or which number is genuine. Thankfully, Flutter always allows us to check the phone number as a string depending upon the proper validation through the classifier of the regular expression. Spam and valid phone number can be detected. The spams are defined by the red and rest of the things are defined by the green color. Now moving to the number 2 solution, that is depends on the SMS. Based upon the text and language processing, we can use naive-Bayes model to detect the spam text in incoming SMS and feed into the TensorFlow Lite model and import it into the Flutter. Due to the depreciation of some dependencies of TensorFlow Lite and shortage of resources, we have thought about the alternative way by checking it in different modes and filters to extract the particular keywords and detect the spam ones. App asks permission from user and fetch the data from the inboxes and do its own job. Like the phone number, it's also classified the messages into different kinds of way and determine the spam one. To get the more precise validation, Google ML Kit can be implemented here for more information. Now moving to the number 3 point, that is the UPI validation. We use UPI in our daily basis and as a common people, it's our own responsibility to keep safe our money. Every day in India, around 40% of people get trapped into scams in UPI and lose their money forever. Flutter barcode scanner allows us to scan and validate the UPI in proper manner. Validating the incoming UPI definitely helps us to validate the user in opposite side and makes our transaction safe by using this package. Incoming UPI code is decrypted into raw data by which we can identify the user information. Now moving to the number 4 point, that is the URL validation. An average people can click hundreds of URLs daily. Some of them can be malicious and harmful for our device. Flutter HTTP and regular expression package allows us to detect the response data and status code before accessing it to the actual browser and warn us accordingly. It sends HTTP request to the server and get back the data from the server as a response. According to the response, it passes the data to the regular expression to detect the spam or the malicious keyword and warn us with the proper labeling. Now moving to the next point of the 5th, that is the exceptional point. In few of the cases, people uses Bitcoin for transaction. Though it's illegal, but keeping in mind the safety precautions of the government, one can lost the crypto forever. Thankful to Bitcoin Flutter library, which can help us by validating the smart contract with the appropriate private key and hash code and develop a possibility to track that amount successfully. Now, except these all cases, if anyone face any trouble or issues, they can contact immediately with the Indian Cybercrime Department inside our application just by filling the form or by contact via phone calls also. At this point, let's understand the application flow. On the high level, the application requires the operating system to get the access of different third-party applications by using the API as the middleman and other hardware devices also. It can connect with the SMS and call log to fetch the data of corresponding application and populate to the UI. In the case of the UPI validation, application accesses the camera and get the barcode for decryption and shows it into the particular page. At this moment, after describing the application in this appropriate manner, let's discuss about the technology stack that we have used in this application while making it. First of all is the Flutter framework, which is the UI framework for making the application. We have used this framework to make the skeleton of the application and filling it with the UI widgets. The next thing is the Dart programming language and its corresponding API. Flutter is made by the Dart and it is most beneficial to make the beautiful looking application, and it consists of different type of API which takes the permission of the device from the background, and we can perform any type of operation that we can do by using this following APIs. The first is the permission handler. This API is used to get the access of device to use the other third-party applications also like the SMS and the call logs. Phone state is used to access the device state and inform the application what is the state of the device right now. The call log API is used to get the access of device call log and populate to the UI. SMS API is used to fetch the access of SMS from the inbox. Flutter barcode scanner is used to scan the UPI code and decrypt and show it into the proper page. The next thing is the Firebase, which is used to authenticate new users in the application, and also it can be used for storing the data which is given by the new users while filling the form during the facing of any troubleshooting problems. So in these slides, we want to say about the use cases of this application in our daily life. The first thing is that when we surf the websites or any type of site in our daily life by using Google, there may be different type of the sites which can have the bad sites or the good sites, which contains the malicious website or the viruses, anything else. But before surfing the website, we need to first verify the security protocols of the site. Our applications allows us to check and verify the website by using the status code and the response body, by which we can detect the website is harmful or not. The second use case is that people can send the request to other people for the payment of the money by using the UPI. But in most of the cases, the people who have zero knowledge or the minimum amount of knowledge of the UPI transaction can face or can be a victim of that person who is sending the UPI as a scammer. Our application ensures that before sending the money to the opponents, we make sure that the money we are sending to must be verified before paying it to the actual people. Our applications have an integrated system by which we can scan the UPI and get the data as a UPI ID and the name of the user as a information. Now the third thing is that we receive calls daily, but we don't know what type of call it is. It can be a malicious call, it can be a call from our known person, unknown person, or the call from the company, or anything else. But we need to make sure that the calls we are receiving are not frauds and the malicious. To remove the barrier of to remove this problem, we can use our application to detect the spam calls, by which we can identify the calls that had called us before, and by this flag we can rectify the spam calls and the valid calls. Now moving to the next part is the spam SMS. In the spam SMS section, we get lots of plenty of SMS daily, but some of them can be a phishing attack. Depending upon the characteristics of the SMS, we can absolutely verify that which links are the malicious and which message can be a malicious message, by which we can get trapped of the hackers or the spammers. Our apps allows us to do this technique, by which it flags the malicious messages and color it by the red, and the rest of the messages are become green. The red message indicates its behavior as a spam, and the other are the safe messages. By this, we can rectify the messages and classify it according to its nature. Now moving to the next part is that, except these problems, if someone get any type of trouble and face any type of troubleshooting problem, they can obviously contact with the Indian cybersecurity cell by using the website or by via phone calls by our application portal. While making this application, we have faced different types of dependencies and the stoppers, by which we have completed this solution till now. Like the hardware dependencies contains the laptop, which is used for the coding purposes, and the physical smartphone with the latest operating system, which is obviously used to debug, run and test our application, which we have coded into our laptop VS Code. And by using the USB connectors, we have connected our mobile phones with our laptop, by which we can test and debug our application into our physical mobile devices. And the next thing is that the software dependencies contains the VS Code. VS Code plays an important role in the life of the developer. It's an IDE, integrated development environment, for writing the quality codes in a best optimum way. And the next thing is that Flutter. Flutter is a UI framework written in the Dart language to make the skeleton of our applications and the widgets. And the next thing is that the Firebase, for authentication purposes with the new users and store the data from the form by the new users when they face the troubleshooting, is responsible for using this Firebase. By Firebase, we can authenticate the new users and store the data in the backend server. After that, we need to discuss about the stoppers, which has delayed our task in most of the manners. The first thing is that the implementation of the TensorFlow Lite Flutter packages and the feeding of the ML model into the TensorFlow Lite packages to detect the spam in a most accurate way. But due to the depreciation of few packages, there are lots of errors and bugs in the software, which we can't solve due to the insufficient or the wrong resources under the minimum time span. We have tried our best to do the maximum possible way, and till now we have created our sample or the demo solution in a most appropriate manner. Now let's take a look into the solution of our demo application. Thank you for visiting and watching this presentation. Thank you.